I'm going to show you how to install Ikea NORRFLY LED lighting strip. I'm gonna explain everything regarding the measurements, where to position the lights and how to move the wire out of the wardrobe and how to hide it nicely behind the wardrobe. In this case, we're gonna have the lights on both sides. Let's do it. And this is the Ikea NORRFLY LED lighting strip. I'm gonna use electric screwdriver, measuring tape and a pencil. If you like to see what kind of tools I'm using, everything is in the description. Here what you're getting with the NORRFLY lights for Ikea PAX wardrobes. Instructions, few screws and some stickers there. So in the instruction manual you have options. You can mount the brackets on the shelf, on the bottom part or on the top of the wardrobe if you don't have the shelf. In this case we're gonna mount it on the shelf on the bottom part. So we have the shelf and then it's the hang grill. If you mount it on the top and you have the shelf under it, it would just cover the lights, so it's not gonna be nicely spread all over the wardrobe. In this case we're mounting on the first shelf. Here is the extensions. If you're gonna mount it on the top and you don't have the shelf under it, you're gonna use those extensions instead. In this case we're mounting on the shelf on the bottom part, so we don't need the extensions. This is the light. You have a wire, you can open it up, and we're mounting on the bottom part of the shelf, so you got 3 holes there on the side. That's the side where we're gonna mount the light. You're gonna have the FÖRNIMMA Power cord. You're gonna have to buy it separately, and included in the lights is the metal bracket. Here is what you're getting in a PAX, few stickers and 4 screws. This is the stickers, pretty useless. I'm gonna explain at the end what they're for. Here you have TRÅDFRI LED driver. You can buy a remote control as well. All these, the LED driver and power cord, are sold separately. So here we're gonna measure the middle of the shelf and we're gonna mount the bracket there. So just put the metal bracket and measure the middle of the shelf. So you have the metal bracket nicely on the middle, and roughly 3 cm. The holes should be roughly 3 centimeters from the front of the shelf. As I mentioned, we're mounting at the bottom of the shelf on the front side. Position the bracket correctly. You see the holes on the brackets are closer to the edge of the shelf, and once you're on the middle, just mark it. You see the holes are closer to the front of the shelf, so don't put it the other way around. Here you're gonna have it in the instructions. There's 3 centimeters from the front of the shelf, so you mark the holes already where is the middle of the bracket, and now mark on those 3 centimeters from the front of the shelf on both sides. I like to pre-drill those holes with a very small drill. Just the screw's gonna go easier in. Don't go with a big drill because you're gonna make it big holes and the screw's not gonna hold properly. Go without the holes or with the very tiny drill. I'm pre-drilling the holes because I find it quite hard with those small screws just to come in straight, even with the electric screwdriver. It's okay if you push it a bit harder, but I find it easier this way. It's a nice and easy fix. So just mount it. Those holes are 3 centimeters from the front, as I mentioned, and the bracket is right on the middle. You're gonna have a bit of space to move it left and right after you mount it, but go right on the middle so you're in the right position, not gonna have a problem with the shelf. Here is how you're gonna mount it. You see there is a gap on the bottom. This is the sensor holes and the lighting strip. The side with the lighting strip going first into the bracket, and then you just clip this down where is the sensors. Just clip it nicely down. They should go nice and easy. It's not hard force, so if you position it right you should be fine. Now you position it right on the middle so you have enough space for the shelf to come in. As I mentioned, you buy this light depend on the size of your wardrobe. You get smaller and bigger, so you go on exact size of your PAX wardrobe frames. Here we're gonna open the wardrobe as we have it attached on the wall, so just take the covers out and open the screws for the wall fixing. As we're gonna push the wire through those holes behind the wardrobe, so that's how we're gonna hide the wires. Place the shelf in the frame at the bottom and you can push the wire go over the hang grill if you have the same setup as here. Go over the hang grill, take the screws out, otherwise you're gonna have a hard time to push the wire in, and push it through the hole on the side of the wardrobe. Don't go on the middle hole, otherwise you're gonna have a hard time to get the wire out unless you don't have the wardrobes attached on the wall and close to the wall. So here on the left side, just push it out through the hole. Go easy here as the L-shaped bracket for the wall fixing there is quite sharp, so just go slowly, and once you out enough, push the wire on the top of the wardrobe. Now you can go in with the shelf. The wire gonna go under the shelf but over the hanging rail. Slide the shelf nicely in, place it in the holes, place it in those plastics. You're gonna have 6 plastic holders on the side. Just place it in and push the wire out. Just push it gently, don't cut the wire. If you go too hard you may, because there is sharp edges on the shelf and sharp edges on the L-shaped brackets which you fixing the wardrobe on the wall there. So just push it out. Don't push it too much, just push it out enough so the wire is nice and stretched. You see, it's exactly the same as here. Nice and stretched here, so when you're hanging the stuff you're not gonna have a problems. So this is the useless stickers here. Just stick it in, probably in a few hours they're gonna go off, but that's what Ikea provides, so just put it in. They're not very good fix here. Sometimes you can go under those plastic things what is holding the shelf. I'm gonna do that on the other side, as I'm gonna have to push the wire through the other hole across the frame. So here we out with the wire, just stretch it out enough. As I mentioned, don't go too hard, but stretch it enough so you have nice stretched wire in, not hanging under the shelf, and push it up across the wardrobe. That's it. We can do the other side. So just open it up. You have the wires on the top of the wardrobe prepared, and exactly the same. Put the shelf in to the wardrobe frame and push the wire out, but in this case we're gonna go through the right side, as is closer to the end. Would have a hard time if I go through the other hole. Just take the screw out. Gonna have easier time to push the whole thing out, push the wire out. Once you out enough on the other side, just take it and pull the cord out. Pull it out enough so you can put the shelves up. Go easy here on the sharp edges, don't break the cord. And now you see we over the rail and we should go under the shelf. Here I did mistake. It's gonna take me a bit of time till I realize this terrible mistake. Here it is, the wire is on the top of the shelf, so it should be under it. I still didn't get it, and finally got it. So just take it out, easy fix, no catastrophe here. Just push the wire slightly in, put it under the shelf, over the rail, and place the shelf in. Now we're gonna fix the wire, but I wanna have it nicely fixed on the side, exactly the same as on the left side of the PAX wardrobe frame. I'm just gonna push the wire over that plastic which is holding the shelf at the bottom, and then I'm gonna pull the cord out from the wardrobe. So you see, it's not gonna go across the shelf under it, it's gonna be nicely on the edge, and then just push it out. You just go slowly here, take it all out, and now you can pull it from the side of the wardrobe. Here you can hide the cord behind the wardrobe or on the top of the wardrobe if you have a space. In this case it's a very tight space on the top, so I'm gonna push it on the side only, and then you can hide it under the wardrobe if you have enough space. Or this is up to you, you can just leave it on the side or on the floor if the cord is long enough. Here is the power supply. You're gonna have to buy this separately. And this is the LED power supply, and this one you can use it for the remote control as well, which you buy separately. In this case we don't have the remote control. Just plug the wires in. Then power supply into the box, and that should work. Let's check it out. Everything, that's how is it plugged. I'm gonna put just on the shelf for now, and then you can tie the wires behind the wardrobe. Here, plug it in, check it out, put it on, off, or on auto. Put it on auto. Try it before you attach the wardrobe back on the wall. Just put it on an automatic setting and try to close the door and open the doors a few times. If everything is working, light is gonna go off once you go over the sensors. Got 3 positions there, on, off, and auto, as I mentioned before. Once everything working, it should go off once you go over the sensor and then on again. Now when I'm happy with that, I'm gonna secure the wardrobe on the wall. That bracket which is under the screw, just make sure the sharp part don't go over the wire. I'm gonna show you in the other one. Just place the ones without and the one with the wire. You see, I'm gonna place the screws first in, tie the screws in, and then the washer which is coming on is kind of U-shapes. Make sure the U is on the middle, so the sharp edges is on the top and bottom, don't go over the wire. Secure it, put the covers. And this is it. This is how you install Ikea NORRFLY LED lights. I hope you enjoyed. If yes, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel as always. It helps a lot. Thank you very much and see you in my next one very soon. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day.